Good evening. Our Australian first facial recognition cameras have revealed the number of criminals walking among us in Perth. 20 wanted people have been scooped up off the street in just 1 week.
Even today, a media conference spruiking the cameras was interrupted as they detected wanted people, forcing police into action.
As the Commissioner spruiks his new technology, he's interrupted mid-sentence. The facial recognition cameras detecting a wanted person in the middle of his media conference. This woman was wanted for allegedly failing to appear in court, but it wasn't just a one-off. There were 3 arrests within an hour, all picked up by the new cameras in Mirrabooka.
Been happening all week.
The new cameras screen passers-by against the police database for people wanted by police. A positive match alerting officers. Everyone else's identity hidden from officers and deleted.
There's no information to hack other than the face of the person who already has an arrest warrant.
If you haven't committed a crime, if you're not wanted by a court, if you're not a sex offender, there's not any interest in you.
At least 24 wanted people have been arrested so far. Plus 21 registered sex offenders detected and spoken to by police.
We've run out of arrest vans very quickly because we've had a couple of alerts. It keeps us busy.
The cameras also helping carry out 2 welfare checks. They've been trialled in the city, Midland and Mirrabooka. Since the trial began, more than 130,000 faces have been scanned. Of those, just 2 were false alerts, a case of digital mistaken identity.
This is why we have a human in the loop. This technology is equivalent to a police officer going, I think that person is, or that might be.
1 week into a 5-month trial, the results of the Australian first technology already impressing.
The results send a very strong message about the effectiveness of this technology.
Brandon Demura, 7 News.
The biggest shake-up to Perth's planning laws in almost 30 years will free up thousands of backyards for redevelopment.
It's a win for families sitting on big blocks who've been unable to carve up their land due to red tape.
Your home might be your castle, but that hasn't always included your backyard. For some now, there's a chance to make money off it. WA's residential design codes, or R codes, have been ballooning in complexity since they were first introduced in 1985. They're about to be turned on their head.
This is challenging. Our R codes are outdated, complex and no longer fit for purpose.
Our urban sprawl is getting bigger and we've failed to keep up with our infill targets.
And the choice is we cut red tape, enable more infill, or alternatively, build to Geraldton.
R codes define how many dwellings can be built on a defined area. R20 is the most common and refers to single residential. Under R20, blocks less than 900 square metres can't be subdivided. Under the proposed changes, blocks measuring 700 square metres will be eligible for subdivision, with a new house able to be built on each new block. That could open up 50,000 new development sites and be a financial windfall for their owners.
The blocks will be of a size that we can build single-storey homes, and that means that they're quick, the builders will take them on. You won't change the nature of a suburb too much, but it will give housing choice.
Another proposal, supported by both developers and government, is to reduce the number of car bays in new apartment blocks. It's estimated a car bay adds around $137,000 to the cost of an apartment.
We know there are plenty of people, particularly in well-located sites that are close to transport train stations, that people don't actually need or want those car spaces.
Qualified support from the opposition.
Why is this all taking so long? The minister's all about media announcements and very poor on delivery.
Jeff Parry, 7 News.
There are chilling new details tonight about the actions of Perth man Simon Carman in the hours after he allegedly killed a teenager in Thailand. The girl's murder has exposed the dark side of Thailand's sex industry and the increasing dangers within it.
Pattaya, one of the world's most visited cities, its red light district the bustling centre. The place packed with foreign men and so many of them Australian.
You hear stories about foreign men being sadistic or physically abusing people. There have been a lot of cases like that. If you're asking whether foreign men assault Thai women or bar girls, yes, it happens a lot.
It was about 2 a.m. and raining when Simon Carman walked in to Sky Kanyarat's bar and sat with one of the women working there.
I thought he might have been a bit too rough. My friend made a loud noise because he leaned on her quite hard and maybe gave her a pretty rough shoulder massage.
She says he was drunk when he staggered in and when he staggered out, alone, before allegedly meeting his teenage victim at the beach and murdering her in his apartment. 7 News can reveal in the hours that followed, the Australian was already sending casual WhatsApp messages to another local sex worker. "I'm so tired. I'm going to go for a swim today." While his teen victim allegedly lay dead in the bathroom.
I want tourists to see us as human beings. Please don't hurt us.
Hundreds attended a funeral for Tunshan Hok Don Homla, with the official autopsy now complete, and investigators hoping they'll soon have the results. James Carmody, 7 News.
The government has been forced to change how it determines the level of aged care older Australians receive. They're adding a human check as a new challenger to Anthony Albanese emerges, armed with a racket.
Joseph Dowd thought winning tennis with the Prime Minister of the Lodge was going to be a stretch.
Genuinely shocked.
Recording that shocking moment.
Oh my God.
Oh my God!
Blasting all bidders from the court at last night's Press Gallery midwinter ball with $16,500 for charity, suddenly looking for a coach.
Well, I heard Nick Kyrgios recently retired. If he wants a gig, mate, tell him to come right down.
The Sydney mortgage broker wants to give the PM a real serve. He spent thousands on billboards slamming the budget and now wants to argue his case in the court of public opinion. His preferred umpire, no fan of the PM.
Hughesy, Dave Hughes.
Anthony Albanese today returning serve.
If it's a choice between someone who's in the sector somewhere and who's got enough money to buy billboards and spend all this, or first home buyers struggling to get into a home, I'm for the first home buyers.
The main political game today, aged care. The government adding another level of human oversight to ensure assessments by computer algorithms deliver the right level of care. A primary assessment by a trained clinician will be filtered through a computer checklist for consistency, then reviewed by a separate delegate with a new avenue for appeal. But the Coalition, Greens and Crossbench want complete human oversight.
We've sent a very clear message to the government that we are not going to sit idly by and let them persecute older Australians' needs.
There is human oversight over all of these processes.
That new review process now going out for consultation.